Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm so happy again to be back. Episode 34, man, this is crazy. I thank you guys for your continued support and all the things that you guys continue to support me on with this show. And again, just like we always do, doing the usual things. We're back in the building. Back in the building. So what I'm about to do is just making sure people can comment on here. Make sure once you do that, make sure you not only you jump in the comments and let me know where you're tuning in from. But also share this. Share this. Make sure you share this with a lot of people. Let them know that we're in the building because we are. I'm truly excited tonight because I know tonight is going to be so dynamic because I got some powerhouse people that's going to be on this show with me tonight, and some people that I know that have been two of the biggest supporters of this show since its genesis, and I'm proud to have them on. Just sharing this a little bit myself. Make sure you do the same. And I'm glad. So we had some technical difficulties tonight, but that don't stop this. They don't stop this show. And I knew for a fact the reason why is because this show tonight is going to be one that I feel that is going to bless so many people because a lot of things have been going on, and have a conversation that I know that I personally feel and haven't seen a lot of is talking about grief and the things that people go through. So with that being said, I want to do my usual shout out to small business owners. And I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, the wife of a good friend of mine and a good friend of mine, Miss Latrice Sanders. All right. She got her own business. She's about to open up her own shop. God is doing a lot of things for her. And she got her own business called Simple But Custom. Simple But Custom. And you can find her Facebook page. I will share the link in the comment section. But Simple But Customs. That's what it is. Simple But Customs. You can find it on Facebook page. You can also, if you want to, her phone number, all of that stuff is on there. It's on the Facebook page. But she has an Etsy page, and also if you want to get some info, you can reach out to her at info@simplebutcustoms, all one word.com. So make sure you reach out to her. Anything that you want, she makes custom t-shirts, outfits, different things like that for birthdays. I mean, she do it all. And the girl got skills. And I'm not just saying that. If you go check her page out, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So I just want to give a big shout out to her and what she's doing. I love to see people that I personally know doing their things, especially reaching out in entrepreneurship and creating legacies for their family. So without further ado, I just want to get on and bring the two people on that's a guest on this show because I think that these two people, I can say that I've known, one of them I know my entire life. I would say even from conception, I can say that I know her. And the other one, I've known her since I was since I was in the first grade. Since I'm gonna go ahead and date myself, since 1986, when I was in first grade in Miss Thomas' class back in Greensboro, Alabama. So that's how long I've known these two. And I want to bring them on right now and bring them on to the show and let them introduce themselves. So they're going to come on very shortly, and we're going to have a very good discussion. Here we go. We got the powerhouse. We got the powerhouse in the building. And before we get started, and I have you guys introduce yourselves, I just want people to just jump in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we got one of my Nikki. I got to call her Nikki now because I can't call her what she said by her government name. But I want to give a shout out to her. I know she's tuning in from the DC area. Thank you. Really enjoyed you last week. Really enjoyed you last week as a guest. Got a lot of feedback on there. So let everybody know who you are and a little bit about yourself before we start this conversation. We'll start with you, Miss Paige May.
Good evening, everyone. I'm tuning in from Greensboro, Alabama. I am the mother of 8. I have 7 children on earth, and one is with Jesus. So It's like that, and I just enjoy life. I love people, and I don't know anybody in this world that I do not like. I have a love for people, and I love everybody because Philippians 2:5 tells us to let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. So if I'm gonna be Christ-like, I gotta love everybody, and that I do.
Okay, now we got the other person. I barely know this other person, and I just want the world to know because I really want to find out who she is, because I barely know her, so I want to let her introduce herself right now.
Good afternoon. I am actually calling today from Uniontown, Alabama. I have known the host of this show for let's see, he will be 42 this year, 43 this year. And I've known him for about 44 years. How about that? Okay. He is my son. My name is Deborah Shepard. I've been on the show before. I am actually in the process of moving today, moving from Demopolis to Uniontown, and we've got a lot of things going on right here in the household. But I had promised him that I would be here, and so I am here. I have. I'm just happy to be here. My co-guest today, Miss Valeda Page Banks. I've known her for a few years, and we affectionately call each other wife-in-law. We're not gonna get into how that happened. Just understand we are wife-in-laws, okay?
All right. So before we get started, I just want to go through a few comments. Shout out to 9-8, the best class ever in Greensboro. I mean, I know that's not even up for debate, but Chandrilla, I want to say thank you for your continued support. Brianna Marie, she's tuning in from Greensboro, the metropolis of Greensboro, Alabama. Mac Murray Jr., good people, family over in Goldsboro, North Carolina. All right. My man JB, we getting ready to both of us. He's tuning in here from the middle of America in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. we both of us are headed up to New York next. And like I said, Nikki, she's tuning in from VA. And again, we just want to get on with this conversation. Mama. See, I want to say this. So this is what JB just said. So I want you to see that I try to do my best to represent, represent Greensboro and the Shepard name. He said, "You have a wonderful son. I'm in school with him now, and I know you're very proud." So, and
we are proud of you.
I just want to say I know how to act right in class. Outside of class, that's a different thing, but I do know how to act right in class. So with all the pleasantries out the way, we want to talk about grief tonight because I know a lot has been going on. We've experienced a lot of young people dying, and I think that a conversation about grief is necessary because there's no cookie cutter way of dealing with grief. That's why I said managing the impact of grief and how it changes you. And the reason why when I thought about this topic and in this conversation, both of you two popped up in my mind to have this conversation is because I know the dynamics. This is like what Ms. Page Banks said earlier. She's the mother of 8 with 7 still here. So she understands it from the perspective of losing a child. Both of you all understand it from the perspective of losing parents. I understand it from a perspective of losing my father. And I feel that all of those different perspectives are great to have a conversation about and talking about. But what I did wanted to have is have it to where, people can see that it's okay whichever way you go, as long as you find out a good way of how to manage it, because it will impact you and it change you. So with a lot of the things that we've, like I said before, with dealing with grief, when you have to face the, and I'll say the loss of a child, loss of a parent, a loss of a loved one, what was the initial thing that how did you get to a point to where you could manage it? Do y'all understand what I mean by that? How do you get to a point where you could manage it?
Well, for me, when it first happened and I realized what had happened, that particular night, at the moment when I realized what had happened, I cried out to God.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked God to please help me. God showed up right then. I felt him. And I was able to deal with it, but it was still painful. It still hurt as well as it still hurt now. However, with God on my side, I walked through it better had he not been there. Because there was a time in my life when I said, I don't know what I do if something happened to one of my children. I said, if somebody ever did something to one of my children, they don't want to deal with me. But that didn't happen with me. I cried out to God, and God was preparing me for a time as this. He was preparing me. So it happened. Yeah, it hurt. And like I said earlier, it still hurts. However, when the scripture says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, that is the truth. Because if we rely on God and what he can do, the word is so powerful. Miss Clarissa Rhines have always said, whatever you need is in the word. And this word has truly, truly been a light unto my feet. It has directed my path. And I know that if I want to see DJ again, I got to live right. I can't go in the Bible and pick out what I want to believe. If I'm going to be a believer, I'm going to have to believe it all. So in order to see DJ again, on the other side, I got to forgive. I got to love. And God has given me so much peace. He has given me so much joy that, yes, I miss him and all of those things. But I'm able to deal with it better because of God and who he is. I take no credit for myself because I made the statement that it's hard because I'm so used to saying I have 8 children. And in my therapy, they told me, say, you still have 8. One is just with Jesus. That sounds so much better. That sounds so much better. And to realize that DJ Number or DJ Destination was playing, his death was playing before he was born. That gave me a lot of peace as well, to know that it was already playing. God did it. And I'm thankful that he loaned DJ to me for 32 years. He loaned it to me for 32 years. And he came back and got what was his. And who am I to say, God, you can't have him? God already know me. He know my pain. But when I look back and I don't see but one set of footprints, I know he's carrying me. So it's the things like that that help me go through what I'm going through and help me to help somebody else.
So I really appreciate that, because I know, and I know both of you guys are women of faith. And I want to have this discussion because I know there's some people that may be watching, they'll be like, man, I ain't got time for that God stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, but I mean, that God, it don't work for me. So, and you talk a whole bunch in that, and you identify some things. So I want to talk about the 5 stages of grief, right? So they say there are 5 stages of grief. They say denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So, and I say with all of these things, and these 5 stages don't mean that they go in that order.
They don't.
They
Do
don't go in
not.
that order,
They do
and
not.
it doesn't mean that once you go through them, you've had all 5 of them, that you won't go through them again. It is over. You continue to go through it, and sometimes you may even stay in a stage longer than you think you should have. But the thing about grief, there is no time.
No time.
You have to allow the process to go, and you have to actually go through each one of the steps. You can't say, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm over that." You can't do that, because that's not the way it is. That's not the way. That's not the way grief works. Grief works in that you have to allow the process. And I read something this morning that we often, I thought about it, in that it's more than just what it was posted. The post says, we cannot forget about the promises of God as we go through the process that he has set forth. And it is the same thing with grief, because everything, the grief is a process. You have to go through. Yes, I deny the fact that it happened. Well, whether it was sudden and unexpected, or even if it was something that we knew, that there had been an illness, and you knew something, that it was possible that it was going to happen. Either way, you still go through the process of denial. You still go through the process of bargaining. God, if I had done this, no, you can't do that. Our Heavenly Father is just that. He is a Father. And and oftentimes we don't always look at God as if he is a father, but that's what he is. And as a parent who loves their children, what do we do with our children when we love them? We chastise them. We give them advice. Sometimes they don't listen to us, but still we love them. We don't ostracize them because they don't do what we ask them to do. He's the same way. He is our Heavenly Father, and he is there to help us. As Sister Paige Banks says, I'm just gonna say wife-in-law. I just, because that's what I call all the time.
That's hard for you.
She I pray with her. I can't say for her, but I pray with her, because her strength is just amazing.
See, and I want to get
in the midst of all of that she was going through, she was still working in the kingdom and doing things. She's still bringing children to the church. You're still doing. Is she hurting? Yes. Is she angry? Yes. And I didn't hear you say that as being one of the steps, but anger is a step.
Oh, I said that was
okay. and anger is a step, and we get angry with God. But I love the way that she said that she had to realize this, and I had someone tell me this before. This was when I lost my mom, and I was young when I lost my mom. And the lady said, when you go to pick a bouquet of flowers, don't you get the prettiest flowers in the garden? God can go and pick his flowers anytime he get ready to pick his flowers. And we have to remember that. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't like us. It just means that the purpose that individual was sent here to do, they had fulfilled. And it was time. Either they had fulfilled it, or it was just time for them to go.
I want to get into some comments, and then I want to jump on to some other things. Nick Melvin said when he lost his mom, he said he cried to God, and he's giving him strength. And now that he look at it, he was preparing me for the loss of my mom. So he was talking about God revealed that he was preparing him for the loss of his mom even before, and those things that we don't even think about or consider. But and this is and I'm gonna go through these comments, and then I really want to jump into a lot of great.
Because he is a loving father, he prepares us for what he is going to do. We just don't always listen to what he's telling us.
Yes, ma'am. Nikki said, I think God is the best source of strength in healthy grieving, because I want to get on to that point, that and healthy grieving. And then she also said that she stayed in denial an entire year after her mother's death. Yeah, and then she said she broke down on the anniversary of her death, and she called out God to help us. And I wanted to talk about that because, you know, Miss Paige Banks, you said something earlier. And I want to go back to that. I know you a woman of faith in the church, working in the church, have been a symbol of strength for a lot of people, for how you carried this, the loss of your child, with grace and strength. But you said your therapist. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because, you know, black folk, we don't like, you know, I don't think I need is Jesus. That's all I need is Jesus. I just prayed. That's all I need is Jesus. I don't need to go sit down and talk to nobody. But I'm glad that you said that, because that is a part of healing. That is part of the process. So
that is so true. My therapist is, to be honest with you, my therapist is one of my co-pastors, and she's awesome because of some of the things that she have told me. And then, you know, to have a therapist that love the Lord as well, and everything that she says, she's lining it up with the word. And I give thanks to your sister Portia for telling me. We talked in our inbox, and she said, Bank, you need to see a therapist. She said, man, I messed up one time and didn't do that. She said, and it really helps. And she's right, because we as black people, we don't feel like we need a therapist. You know, a couple of my children was like, Mom, no, I don't want to do it. I just can't do it. How you know you can't do it? You never done it before. You gotta try. Nothing fails but a try. So I want you to try. And I could only carry them so far. But if you need the professional help, you need to get it, because grief is real. Depression is real, and all of those things are real. And you could say that I'm okay, and the next thing you know, you have slipped into a depression, and you're trying to get out, and you really don't know how. But if you can get the help, because it's like some of them are free, and there are some that go according to your income. But I promise you, whatever you need, and you put your best foot forward, somebody will help you. They would. I don't see people saying you need to be helped and not helping you get the help that you need. Because when we do that, when we help each other, you know, I mean, we are servants. That's what we're supposed to do. You cannot not see somebody in need and don't help them.
When we cut ourselves, and if it's cut deep enough, we go into the doctor. We're going to get assistance. Grief is a cut. When I tell you it is a cut, it is a huge cut.
That's a bad wound.
That's a bad wound. And therapy is a way to receive medical assistance for your wound. I mean, do you not take care of yourself when you hurt? I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. So, and we do need to understand that therapy doesn't mean that you're crazy. You're crazy if you don't go get therapy, if you don't get help. I'm sorry. Okay, just like we said, I agree. It's a wound. If you cut and you hurt and you won't go get help, that is the crazy part.
But so I like that analogy, Mama, because I mean, you look at it, right? Not seeking therapy, not seeking help for guilt, is almost like getting cut and allowing it to be exposed to all of the bacteria and everything so it can get infected. And that's when we can get into undealt with grief.
Absolutely.
Impact that are around you and that are a part of your life.
Absolutely. And like you said, what happens when you don't take care of a cut wound on your body? That that you don't take care of it right, you don't get the treatment that it needs, it becomes infected. And there have been some instances where people have lost limbs, they've lost toes,
Yep.
and they've lost feet, and a leg, because they did not get the medical help that they need for what was bothering them. And the same thing with therapy. We've got people that are angry and causing all kind of issues with other people because they haven't dealt with the pain within themselves. And the things you said in one of your episodes earlier, one of the conversations earlier, hurt people hurt people. And when you're hurt, you hurt other people. Why? Because you're hurting. You really don't know what you're doing. You're just trying to get help. You're actually trying to get help. I'm sorry, y'all know I told y'all I'm moving, so got a lot of things going on.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to say this on that one though, to caveat what you just said. A lot of people don't realize the level of damage that they're doing to those close around them for them not seeking help to process that grief. So it can be a small thing, but because they chose to ignore it, now amputation have to happen. And what I mean by amputation is looking at it from the perspective of, yeah, it's small thing, but now you lose a marriage because you're not properly dealing with grief. You destroy that relationship with your child because you're not properly dealing with grief. You're damaging all of these things around you because you're not properly dealing with it. And you're going by dealing with it by either now you're trying to drink it away, you're trying to smoke it away, you're trying to party it away, you're trying to use something as a means to cope with it, but instead of actually dealing with it. Because the hardest thing, and especially if it's especially unexpected, because when both of y'all have dealt with something that was unexpected. Ms. Paige Bain lost her son, and Mom, you lost her grandma.
And her husband.
Yeah. And grandmama died a month and 3 days after I was born.
Right.
And I know that took you a while to get to a place to where you was able to accept it.
Oh, and I didn't need any help. I was been in the church all my life, and then I was the preacher wife, so I ain't need no help. I ain't need none. I ain't need no help. The
only thing you have to do is keep going to church, and God was gonna work it out.
I just keep went to church, keep going to church, and I'm just gonna let Jesus work it out. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, that's how strong I am. And I almost lost my mind. I lost a whole 4 days of my life when I finally broke down. I lost them. I didn't even know. I went to bed on Thursday night, woke up on Sunday morning, didn't even know. I'm thinking it's Friday morning, getting ready to go to work, and it's time to go to church. And had been to the hospital and didn't even know it. Now you talk about losing it because I didn't get the help that I needed, and it was almost time for her anniversary before I lost it. So you need help. Therapy is not a bad thing. I was talking to someone earlier about needing therapy. I mean, I said counseling. They said they didn't need counseling because they talked to their friends. I'm like, okay, your friend is a doctor? No. So no, you need some counseling. You need some help. We have hurts that we need to have healed, and we cannot always heal. And Jesus will heal them. But just like he gives us doctors to help us in our healing, he gives us mental doctors, he gives us psychiatrists, he gives us therapists to help us with our mental illnesses. So that and not saying that you're crazy, like I said earlier, it just means that you trying to get your body, your mind straight, like you try to get your body straight.
So I want to ask Ms. Paige Banks this. So, like my mom said, and I've seen it, and I've personally seen it. I seen you just, I mean, for knowing what, like, you don't look like what you've been through.
Praise God.
And people looking at that, they may just be like, well, I don't know how she's going through that, because how it looks, she got everything together. But you know what it looked like behind the scenes, and you know what it looked like to say, you know what, them days where just like you said, you smiling on the outside, but on the inside, boy, if Lord, and how and the process of it. You see what I'm saying? And I want to talk about what that process looked like behind the scenes, because everybody can see, and it's not that you're fronting, it's not that you're putting up a front, it's just, I know what it's like to go through something and people see it on the surface. I can remember, and this is what I want to talk about. Grief is not just associated with death.
That's right.
Grief is associated with trauma. And I want to talk about that from that perspective, because a lot of times when we talk about grief, yes, we understand grief because death is a natural part of life. But when we're dealing with trauma, we're dealing with the trauma of a divorce, trauma of a molestation, trauma of any type of thing that somebody's dealing with. Grief, those same stages of grief applies to that. And when people see go ahead.
But they are deaths.
But
a divorce is a death. Mm-hmm. Being unemployed, being let go from a job is a death. Mm-hmm. Going bankrupt is a death. Those are deaths. Those are things that things are not what they used to be. So it is a death, and it does create grief. But we used to talk about molestation. That's a death of innocence. That's a death of being open with other individuals. That of trust. That's a death of trust. Those they are deaths. We look at death as you you close your eyes, but all of that trauma is a death, because it stopped being what it was and now it becomes something different.
So Ms. Paige Banks, behind the scenes, what that's like behind the scenes, the stuff that people don't see. That's what I want to talk about. What's that like?
Well, I lost. But when I lost my child, I lost a part of me. And I just couldn't believe. It was like, wake me up. He's going to come through that door. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I cried out to God. And when things happen, you be so overwhelmed, and there are things that are said to you don't remember. There are some things that you say you don't remember. And I tried real hard to hold all of my stuff in, because I had to be strong for my other children, because they were truly torn and broken. So every time they would come over, I had to mom up and say, it's going to be all right. God is going to take care of us. I was speaking these things, but I was speaking them because I wanted them to believe it. And my daughter told me one day, she said, Mama, I wish you had not taught us to love each other like you did. She said, because if you had taught us not to love each other the way you did, it wouldn't hurt so bad. And it was so strange, because I had just said, God, I wish you had not taught me to teach my children to love each other. And then she was like, when we're talking, I said, but it's okay. I say, our hurt is just a sign of how much we love him. I say, and time it's going to get better. I kept saying that. And every time I would see when my grandbaby would come over and they would be talking, then they'll say, Granny, you know what? I sure wish my dad was here. And I wanted to faint. However, I had to hug them grandbabies and say, you know what? It's okay. Your dad is with God, and he's going to be all right. He's watching over you. But at night, or when I was alone, I would cry myself to sleep. I was like David in Psalm 6, where he cried, his bed was a river. I cried a river because it hurt that bad. Balled up in the bed at night, it hurt that bad. But I kept crying out. And the more I cried, it looked like the worse I felt. In regards to what anybody else said, it still hurt. But like I said, we're talking to the counselor, the therapist, and being I am in a class, and this class takes you from mourning to joy. So if I tell you that class has truly helped me, it has truly helped me because it let me know that it's okay for me to cry. It's okay for me to hurt. All these things are okay, but don't get stuck there, Belay. You can't stay there. You gotta come out. You can't stay stuck. It's
And you
okay to
didn't,
cry.
because even in the midst of what she was going through and one other people, she was still providing morning devotionals for
Every
individuals.
day. Every day at 9 o'clock, no later than 9:02. I get mine. I get mine. And I look forward to it. I
And
look
y'all
forward to
know,
it.
Portia is something else. I sent a message one morning that said, "Let me share my breakfast with you," but I was doing schoolwork with the grandkids, so it was about 10:30. She said, "Breakfast? It's time for lunch." I said, I'm working with the kids. It's okay." So I said it was okay. But I tell people about those messages that I send. There are mornings when I wake up and I'm so sleepy. I want to go back to sleep and everything. But that's all praise be to God for that. That's God's doing. That's not belated, because guess what? Those messages help me too. They
Yes.
help me as well. When I read them, I was like, Lord, thank you for that one. Thank you for that one. But it's just that, there's so much. It's grief is something. It's a process, and you got to go through it. You can't say I don't want to cry, I don't want to grieve. You gonna grieve, but it's what you do with it. Don't just get it and just want people to feel sorry for. Because I often say, don't feel sorry for me, because there are times when I want to grieve or I want to cry. The phone rings. Miss Pay, I just need you to tell me, just say something. And my thing is, it's gonna be all right. With time, it's gonna be all right. I had a lady call me, and she said that a young lady was kind of feeling some kind of way because I didn't text her back when DJ passed, and she reached out to me. And I said, for real? So I go back and message, because she said it was in message, and it was there. It was there, and I apologize. But what people don't realize is that when you're going through something, when things happen like that, when it first happened, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. You're gonna say a lot of stuff that you're not gonna remember. So I feel like, sometimes people just want to say things, they want to be mean, and they want to tell you what to do. But one thing that I don't do, I do not allow people that haven't been in my shoes to help me tie my laces. I don't do
What?
that. You can't.
What you say?
You can't help
What
me.
did you say?
You make
Boy, when you got to say that again. You got to say that one again.
I said, I do not allow people that haven't been in my shoes and been through what I've been through to help me tie my lace. How you gonna do it? You can't help me tie my laces. All your children sitting at the house waiting on you.
Don't go posting that, Robert. That's not from you. If you post it, make sure you
No. Listen. I give credit where credit due. So I had to have her say that again, because that was a nugget. That right there is a nugget.
A lot of times people can be mean and they want to tell you what you need to be doing. No. And one thing I've learned is that I can't heal and be mean at the same time.
Ooh, yes.
So Lord. I got to walk the walk that I talk about. So in order for me to do that, my strength really comes is when I'm helping somebody else. It takes my mind off what I'm going through.
But it doesn't take your mind off of it. It's a transference. So, and I want to say that because we from a mental standpoint, we're not thinking about it, but that's part of your healing. So I'm gonna use this for example, and I really want to jump into it. So I had a hangnail on my finger. So it started when I was back home, and that thing, I don't know if you ever had a hangnail,
yes,
but
sir.
And listen, I ain't no pump. But I tell you this, I couldn't sleep because that thing was throbbing. That thing was just hurting. It got to the point I was sitting in class, and I got back here, and I was like, man, I can't take this no more. So I went to the emergency room. Now, when I went to the emergency room, for those that don't know, they had to lance it, and they had to cut it. And initially, when they cut it, it wasn't painful. But when they got to the area what was causing the source. When they got towards the source of it, it was extremely painful to the point where I was in there sweating. I had started sweating and everything. I was like, "Hey, doc, you got to do something." So the doc numbed me up. He numbed me up, and it numbed me up, and now I didn't have feeling in the majority of my finger, which was good until he got close to that area, and that area still was a little tender, so I had to numb in that particular area. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of that because there are times where God numbs us, and you talked about that, like that we go through things and we don't remember, we don't do all those things. He does that so that we don't get overwhelmed, so that now we can concentrate on getting to that source, so that he can begin us on that process of healing. And on that process of healing, you know, Miss Paige Banks, what I really love about it is when you help other people, it helps heal you, because now you know what it's like to be in those shoes. So you can tell people, you know, that's why I am a big, huge advocate. I don't know if you guys been knowing it, but like since October, I've been on like healing, forgiveness, trauma, all of these things. And the reason why is because I've been through something. I can't tell you about what it's like to be sick if I've never been sick. But if I have been sick, and I know you are sick, I can make you that nice soup with them vegetables in there, because I know how that soup hit when you're sick, and it's good to eat and have something on your stomach make you feel better. And I just really like that. And what I love so much, because Chandrilla made this comment, she said, nights are my time when I cry, break down, because I don't want my children to see me at my lowest. It's hard and rough dealing with grief. And the reason I want to say, I said all that to say this, it's okay. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with that process. It becomes problematic when we choose to stay there. When we choose to stay there. Mom, what you have anything you want to add to
that? I love it. Going back to when I talked about earlier about having a wound. I had a real bad accident several years ago. I had a cut up under my chin, and it was just some bad. I mean, it was just bad. And for a long time, if I ran my hand over that cut spot, I could, you know, in my mind, I could feel it. And but it's been some time now, and when I see it, the scar is there still. When I see it, I remember what happened, but I don't feel the pain anymore. But it's not gone. I know it's happened, and I've got that reminder there that it's happened. But and that's part of grief. You know it happened, but you have to go through the process. And as wife-in-law said, Sister Banks said, go through it. Go through it over and over again. There is no time limit, but just don't stay there. Move forward. Go get the help that you need. When you do that, then you heal. And understand this, just because it happened 5-10 years ago doesn't mean you're over it if you haven't gone to get the help and you haven't gone through the process of healing and going through the process of removing the grief. You're still hurting, and you still hurt other people.
Yes, ma'am. So what do you say to the people that, because see, grief is one thing, but I tell you, it's another thing when you're dealing with grief and guilt combined together.
Yes.
So, and I would tell you, a lot of people deal with grief and guilt because, and that's why I tell you, and I'm saying all this, that's why you got to tell people that you love them. You can't hold them grudges and be all off. You listen, you don't know the day nor the hour. You don't know, and a lot of people, that grief is compounded by guilt. What do y'all have to say about that?
You know,
Amen.
oftentimes I often say all the time, you know, if a person don't walk away from you feeling better than they did when they came and started talking to you or they're in your company, then you have failed them. I tell my children, my family, whoever, before I hang up the phone, whatever, I love you. And that was one thing that when I think about my son and his memories, I don't have no regrets. No, my son was not perfect. There were times when things happened and I got down on him so bad I really wanted to punch him a couple times. But I thought in my mind, I said, nah, I know he's a respectful young man, but if I punch him, he's bigger than me. Now he might overpower me. So I didn't want to, me and him to be at it. So I did. My words are powerful when it comes to my kids. So the things I say, it's almost worse than a knockout. But whatever he went through, he could always look back and see me. And he used to always tell me, thank you. And he was the comedian in our family. He had made everybody laugh all the time. And it's like, okay, I love you. That was my teddy bear. But since he's left, I knew, but I had a reality check that you're here today and you're gone today. Spend as much time as you can with your family, your children, your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Whatever's going on in your life is nothing too bad that you are not to be able to forgive them. Because if there's something going on and you don't forgive, you won't heal. So we gotta forgive.
Amen. Amen.
We gotta love each other. We gotta stop. We are not gonna move forward. I don't see nothing that Jackie or Mike or any of my family could do to me so bad that I would hate them or that I can't forgive them. You know, we have our little spats where we say stuff, but at the end of the day, when we have, okay, I'll talk to you later, I love you. Sometimes they say, your mouth too smart. And I say, well, that's the way you take it. Because it's not that my mouth is smart, it's just that sometimes I had to let you know where I'm coming from because you act like you don't hear me. But love is powerful. When you show a person that you love them and they leave this world, you don't have no regrets. You don't have to say, if I had, I wish I could have. If you can do something for them, do it. Do it in love. Because if I ask you to do something for me and you don't really want to do it, I don't want you to do it. I really don't want you to do it. And I tell my children, don't let nobody do nothing for you that they don't want to do. Because it's not going to be done right and it's going to cause a confusion. They may do their best, but if they mess up, it's in your mind that you didn't want to do it no way. But just try to do everything in love. If we do it in love, and like I say, cheerful, do it cheerfully. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Because if you're not going to get in the, God's looking at your heart. He's looking at our heart. If you didn't want to do it, and your heart is not right, don't do it. It's best not to do it. But love the people that God gave you. Because he's going to come back and get them one day. And when he come back and get them, you can't say you're going to be ready. Because if I had told anybody I was ready for my child to lead, no. I had plans for us. We was going to grow old. We going to sit on the porch, my children and my grandchildren. But God said, no. That's your plan. That wasn't my plan. And I said, okay, God. Okay. But I still give him the praise. I've never been mad. I've never been mad at the situation. Hurt is real. But mad, no, because if I get angry, then it's a difference between angry and mad. You know that, right, Mr. Shepard?
Yes.
Because you can get so angry sometimes that you'll be out of yourself and you'll do things. And then when you come back, like I said, to yourself, you're sorry. So it's just like, just love the people that God gave you.
And,
I'll
yeah,
help the
because
father get angry. Look, and I've got to go. I told y'all I was in the midst, and I really hate. I know we started late, but and I've got to handle something right now. But I'm gonna let y'all continue this conversation. I love the fact that wife-in-law is in here and she's been so honest and transparent. But one of the things I want to tell her is that in a previous episode, I talked about what unforgiveness can do for you. It almost killed me. It kept me from my son's wedding.
I was listening.
And that unforgiveness is real. It's real. And it is something else that you have to heal. But guess what? Guess what that comes from? Unprocessed grief.
mm-hmm.
All right.
Unprocessed grief. I love y'all. I'm not leaving, but I gotta leave right now because I got some things that I gotta take care of. Love y'all.
Yes, man. Love you.
Love you too, wife-in-law.
Bye.
So I just want to continue. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. Got you back. So what I do want to continue the conversation with that is I watched my mom be the caregiver for my grandfather and for my father when they was dealing with terminal disease. And one of the things that can come with that is the in the process of bargaining, because in your mind, you watching them, you watch them as they transition. And you can get to a point where you like bargaining, well, if I had done this, if I had done this, if I had done this. And I can remember my dad who had leukemia, and he got chemo. He went through chemo, went in remission, and he was doing bone marrow treatment at the time, and my uncle was a match. So he did the bone marrow treatment with my uncle. And during the time of bone marrow treatment, he ended up getting a common cold where, they can't give you no medicine or nothing like that when you're doing bone marrow treatment. And the common cold ended up taking on the form of pneumonia, and my daddy ended up dying of pneumonia. And I can remember I was stationed in Germany at the time, and I got a Red Cross message. That's how they go through Red Cross and notify service members, hey, basically, hey, they let me know I needed to come home. And so I traveled back from Germany to Birmingham, and my dad was at UAB at the time. And I can remember when I got there, it was on a Thursday night, and my dad said that he needed to speak with me. Now, I'm sharing this because this helped me with my grief. And when I walked in the room with my father, my dad said, you know how my dad, he's like, Robert, I need to speak with you if you got a moment. And everybody left, and it was just me and him. And the words that he spoke to me, I would never forget. And it did so much for me in my grieving process because of the words that he spoke. And the words that he spoke, he said, Robert, he said, I'm not worried about where I'm going. I got a peace about everything, and it's well with my soul. But he said, but if you're able, you know how he talks, he said, but if you're able, I want you to do my eulogy. Now, at that time, all of that, when he told me those words, I wanted to be angry. I wanted to be upset. I wanted to be mad because it just came down to me that my dad was at peace, but he knew that his time has come. And that was on the Thursday. My dad ended up passing that Sunday. But in that time and through that conversation, that helped me with my grief. But I would tell you, the thing that really helped me before was the years before, where I made peace with the issues that I had with my father. And a lot of times I didn't waste time not taking advantage of it for when he transitioned. Because if I didn't dealt with that, Miss Page, if I didn't deal with the issues with my dad and he passed, I would have been, I could not have been able to bear his loss because I would have been fighting the guilt and not in the unforgiveness for myself by not taking on that opportunity to deal with those things. So, and I know this is not talking about it, but I know a lot of people who may be listening to this right now. Go heal those relationships. Don't waste no more time. We don't know the day nor the hour. Because however mad that you are right now, when they gone, they are gone. You don't have the opportunity.
And that is so true. Whatever is going on within the family or outside the family, I wouldn't want somebody that I was so mean to or mistreated or something to pass and I didn't get it right with them. That would be on me. It would bother me. That's why I try every day to say something positive or try to say some kind words to somebody, because whatever you measure out is going to come back to you. And my feelings of, words hurt me sometimes more than a lick. So I don't like when people are mean to me. And I'm thankful that people have not been mean to me. Things happen. I don't try to fix everything or whatever, things like that. But those things that I can fix, I'm going to jump in somebody's inbox and say, hey, you need to get that right. You need to fix that, because that's not what God wants us to do. And people may say that I don't want to talk about God. I don't want to do this. That's your preference. That's if that's what you want to do, that's your preference. I'm not going to force God on you. But God is my everything. Because had it not been for, let me tell you what happened. I made it a point that I did not want to talk about what happened. People tried to come to me. I said, are you serious? I lost my child. I don't want to talk about that. So my baby came to me one day and he said, Mama, I know you told me, or you told us that you didn't want to talk about what happened to my brother. He said, but I just want to tell you, my brother was real with his friends, but some of them wasn't real with him. And I was like, okay. And I'm saying to myself, at the whole time he's talking, he told me a whole lot of stuff. I said, you know what? God, I don't want to be angry at nobody. I don't want to feel that no type of way for somebody. That was a Wednesday. I went in the Bible study that Wednesday night. Okay. Now, that Thursday night, I was in another Bible study. And guess who we talked about? Judas portraying Jesus. And it was so good. So when I got out of the Bible study, someone texted me and said, when you get a minute, I need to talk to you. I said, call me. So we talked about the Bible study because both of us was in the Bible study. After we talked about it, it dropped in my spirit. You want to get an attitude about what somebody said about your child. Look at what my child did for your child. Man, do you hear me? I almost went through the roof. Because when I think about what Jesus did for us, and I think about how he was portrayed, and I just tell God, thank you. Thank you for Jesus. Lord, thank you for DJ. Because that situation did something for me. It may not do something for somebody else that they heard those things, but it's okay. The message wasn't for them. It was for me. So I look at it like this right here. I'm truly thankful that my children are, they everything to me. I love them. However, me losing DJ, I thought I was going to lose my mind. But God, that's all I can say, but God. Because when you go through and you know that God is there, and like I said, when you look back and just one set of footprints, and I be like, he got me. So I tell people this, and I tell them all the time, whatever you're going through, just look to the hills which come to your help. And if you don't know God, you need to get to know him. Because he's a healer. He do all those things for you. And just like when a parent, the young lady that lost her son a couple of weeks ago, someone called me, they text me and say, you need to talk to her because you've been through it. You know what I told them? It's not time. Because just losing your child, you ain't trying to hear nothing. You hear it, but you don't hear. Time will present itself for whatever happens.
But see, some people that never been through that, they may think this is what it needs because you've been through it. You recognize it. So now you know, okay, just like, okay, I love to cook. And I know, I love to cook. So with me cooking, I know I see what the recipe may say, but I know that time and that don't just work. I may need to leave it on just a little bit longer to get it the way that I know because of my experience of doing it. And that's why I'm so grateful to have you on the show today, because I'm so grateful that I have you on the show today, because I know that with everything that's been going on, you can relate. Some people can relate. When we go through pain and hurt and pain, Kirk Franklin said it before. He said, your pain is your preparation for your destiny. You can speak certain things and say certain things to people that's going through something similar to what you're going through that I couldn't. Now, I can speak certain things as far as when it's talking about losing a parent, but I don't have the perspective of losing a child. And there's a lot that's been going on, and I felt like it was necessary to have this conversation. And I'm very appreciative of you being open and being honest and being willing to come on and share, because I really, really feel that this conversation right here is something that somebody can watch, and it can help them realize that, first of all, you ain't crazy. It's a process.
It's a process.
There's a timeline associated with it. And it's okay to, and because, did you feel, and I wanted to ask this question, when you was going through, did you feel like you was the only person in the world to feel the way that you felt?
No, never felt like that.
You never felt like that?
I never felt that I was the only person. I felt, it just, I mean, it's sometimes I feel like it's kind of crazy, because I mean, like, I was doing stuff all the time, and I need to continue to do those things. I didn't want those things to stop because I was going through. And after DJ's funeral, my kids never saw me broke down until his birthday, and that was in August. They never saw me. I kept it going for them. And that day, it just happened. They all were here, and it happened, and they saw it. And when I did that, it seemed like I got rid of something, some pressure or something. That's the way it seemed.
It was a relief.
It was a relief, because me trying to be strong for everybody, and they was like, who's being strong for me? So They were there, and they were that, we were in a pandemic, but the hugs and everything, they helped. And with them being here, it's always a joy when my children are around, and my grandchildren. It's always a joy. However, there are times when you have to let it go. You have to, I wake up some mornings and I say, okay, God, I'm going to be happy today. I choose to be happy. I don't want to wallow. I don't want to wallow in what I'm going through. I want to be happy. Because life goes on regardless of what happened. But when it happens, you don't see that. You don't see tomorrow. You just like, it's not going to be no tomorrow. And when the scriptures say your joy comes in the morning, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Your joy starts when you get up and do something. When you don't be stuck. I had to forgive whoever was involved, because I could not heal if I did. And I needed to heal.
But I'm glad you said that, was because forgiveness ain't about the other person.
It's not.
I'm just saying, and I talked about that before, but that is like, we feel like, and I heard a lot of people, but recently I was hearing TD Jakes said, forgiveness is like drinking poison, hoping the other person to die.
That's something, I tell you. That is truly something.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you said that. And I tell people this is a process. My father died in July. It would be 8 years. And I still have my moments today. But what I've learned is how I manage it. When I have my moments, I let it come, I let it go out, and I'm good. Because I can remember my first time after his death, I went back to Germany, and the movie The Butler came out. and we all went out with some friends and stuff like that, and we was at the movie theater on Bilsek, Germany. And I'm there watching the movie, and I'm watching the relationship between Forrest Whitaker and his son, and how they was just, their dynamic of their relationship. It reminded me a lot of me and my dad when I was younger. And I had a moment, I was back there with my popcorn, just the whole face, everything just coming down. But guess what? When it hit me, I let it come. And I still watch the movie. I let it come. I let it go. And after that, I moved on. And then from time to time, I have my moments. I may hear something, watch something. I let a few tears go, even to this day. But that's my process. That's how I manage it. But I'm at peace with everything else, but I still miss him.
Amen.
I still want to pick the phone up and call him and hear him say, "Hey."
You know what? At first, I couldn't look at his picture. When I started my Greek class, I had to write his name. I had to say what happened. That broke me down. There were times when we had to write a letter to God and all those things. Then I couldn't read it, but I read it this year. I read it, and I let them know that every time it came time to read this, I couldn't read it, so I never volunteered to read. But I couldn't talk about it without boo-hooing. I couldn't look at his pictures. I look at his picture and I said, boy, I sure miss you. Things like that. And I read the letter and I was like, well, thank you, God. Thank you. But I want to say something to Chandrilla when she said she cried at night because she don't want her children to see her cry. Let them see you cry. Let them know why you're crying. It's okay to cry. It's okay to miss your mom. And it's not that you are sad about it. It just, because you love her so much, you miss that she's here. Because she's still with you in spirit, but she's not here on earth with you. Let your children know that it's okay. I tell my grandchildren, it's okay to cry. If you want to cry, cry. Whenever you want to cry, cry. Because God sees your tears. And it's just okay to cry. So you don't have to be hiding from them because they need to know how you feel. They need to know why you're crying. The best thing that you could do is have a conversation and be open and honest with your children and your family, because you wouldn't want something to happen. And for your older son, and I say for my children, my sisters and brothers say, I didn't know Lay was going through that. I didn't know Mama felt like that. She didn't act like that. Because, it's something, it's a process, but what we have to do. If you can understand what God does and how he does it, then you can go through what you're going through. You're going to still have your moments, but it's easier. For me, it's easier. And I'm thankful for the people that God placed in my life, because there are times when I wanted to break down. And like I say, the phone rings, somebody needs to talk, or God sent somebody to talk to me. And those things happen, and you have to thank God for them. We can't, like I said, it's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve, because we're going to grieve. Because that's a part of it. But don't just get there and just wallow in it. We don't have to do that. We don't have to wallow in what we're going through. And every time something happens, we bring up the same thing. No. It's something.
I'm grateful that the biggest thing is it is okay to grieve, and it is okay. It is okay to cry, but the process of managing grief is not something that you're gonna do by yourself. You need other people, and I just want people to. You're gonna need other people. And before we finish up, what would you say to somebody who's dealing with some grief right now, an unexpected grief, or the grief, whatever type of grief? What would be some advice that you would give to them?
If you're dealing with unexpected grief, like my grief was unexpected, and if you're dealing with unexpected grief, you need to pray. You need to pray and ask God to give you strength, to give you comfort, to help you deal with what you're going through. Because you cannot walk through it by yourself. You cannot go through it by yourself. The people around you, you let them know how you feeling. Don't try to do everything on your own because you're going to forget some stuff. You can't do everything on your own. Let someone help you. Like if unexpected, you got to make funeral arrangements. I did none of those things because I was not able to. I could not go to the funeral home and make no arrangement for my child. I could not pick out what my child was going to wear. I didn't do none of those things because I couldn't. Allow people to help you and let people know that you don't want to do something because people will try to force you into things because you're vulnerable at the time. Don't allow people to force you into things that you normally don't do. To go places and do things that you normally don't do. Don't make any critical changes or things. Don't do anything like buying a car, buying a house. Don't make no changes. Don't do any of those, no decisions like that. Because don't even get you no boyfriend. Because at this time, your emotions are everywhere. Like I said, you're vulnerable. So what you need to do, you need some time. And you need some time for you. You take that little time because when things happen, you got people all around you every day. And when the funeral's on, you got a few people that's going to stick with you. But you have to take time for you. You have to take time to spend time with God. And you got to don't make no critical decisions. None. Take some time and you got to grieve. And if you feel like I can't make it, seek counseling because you're going to definitely need that. And just like I said, I'm thankful, grateful that my counselor is my co-pastor. So it helps. It helps a whole lot because everything that she says, she lines it up with the word. And she also talk to us about seeking counseling. If you need to talk to a therapist, like wife-in-law said, that don't mean you're crazy. You're crazy for not getting the help that you need. And don't allow people to tell you that you don't need to do that when they haven't been there. They don't know how you're feeling. Just like I said, if you have not been in my shoes, I will not allow you to help tie my laces. You can't do that for me because you don't know what I've been through. And sometimes when you go through, some people with the same thing, it's the relationship that you had with the people that you have lost. It's the relationship. It's a different feeling all the time. But just like I said, and I give all praise, I give all credit to God for who he is and what he's doing in my life. I'm at peace. I am at peace and I am so thankful to God for my peace. Because had it not been for the Lord who's on my side, where would I be?
And I'm so thankful that you came and participated in this conversation. Like I said before, I really appreciate your continued support. You've been a huge supporter of this show. And I've been so filled today just hearing and having an open conversation. I'm a huge advocate for counseling. I'm a huge advocate for prayer. But I'm a huge advocate for counseling. I mean, when I went through my thing and I was dealing with my stuff, my trauma, and I got counseling. You know, I went to a psychologist, you know, where I sat and I had weekly appointments and I went and I talked. Because guess what? That talking helped you process things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It helped you process things because when you just keep it in your own mind, that's a dangerous place to leave those thoughts.
Dangerous.
And just talking to somebody help you put things in perspective. Just like what you said, and then when you reach, and I keep saying you drinking that Arbor cup. I know what you're doing this page. Just want to flash Arbor in front of me, because you know I'm an Alabama fan. Goodness. I started to wear my hat, but I said no, I ain't gonna wear it, so I just leave it right there. But
I was trying to sit where my Auburn corner is, but it was too much light over there. I couldn't sit over there. It was too much light.
But I really appreciate it. And you know what? I'll tell people this, and I'm going to say this, and we're in the show. But the reason why we started late today was because we was having some technical difficulties that we never had before. And I was like, nope, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait because I knew you had to be on here tonight, and I knew people needed to hear your perspective. I thank God for giving you the grace and the strength to be where you're at right now, to be in the position to pour into others who are going to go through those similar situations. I can remember when I went through my thing, and I was always asking God, why me? Why me? And the Holy Spirit was like, why not? And I'm like, hey, you know, I ain't like that answer. But as I look back, I've been able to help so many people from that experience. And I know this is just the beginning for you. So again, I really, really appreciate you being a part of this show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And remember, grief is a continual process that you learn how to manage, and it will change you. But that new change is not a bad thing.
Amen.
And I want people to really understand that. So JB said, thank you, ma'am, for sharing your story. Stefania said, it's a process and we are never alone. Amen. So just know that, and I want people to be encouraged. I do want to send my thoughts and prayers to everybody back home in Alabama, Mississippi area who's impacted by the storm. I know there's a lot of relief efforts going on in the area. So I will do my best to find out anything you know what's going on down there. Like anybody helping people out?
Yes, we have Red Cross has been in town, and they were supposed to be signing people up, but they did it for some reason. The young lady had to leave, and FEMA was supposed to have come down to the Pentecostal church. I don't know what happened with that, but they have given out numbers for people that's in the area that's been hit to call, and they have set up places where, because some people are still they don't have power, so they got water and all those things for people. But we have to understand that those things that these people are bringing into town, they are for the victims that was part of that was hit by the storm. And we had a few places that was really hit, like in Jerusalem, Base Mill Road, up in the hills. Yeah, Sawyerville, and those was the main the hills, Base Mill Road, Jerusalem, and Sawyerville. So allow those people to come in, allow these people to get what they need, because sometimes we get stuff that we don't need, but we don't need to do that. We need to let the people that need the help get what they need, and whatever's left, give it to somebody else that need. Because it didn't just hit in Greensboro, and what I just say in Hale County, it hit other places as well. So if there's something left on, don't take it to another site.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to just continue to pray for those. And I know I saw some videos, I saw pictures, thoughts and prayers with them, and also praying for all the families that are dealing with bereavement and that are dealt with loss, tragic loss. I pray that God continue to heal your heart, and not only just heal your heart, but give you understanding. And I challenge everybody that's watching this. Listen, go ahead and make peace with whatever grudge that you have with a family or friend, because you don't know the day or the hour. It's not as bad as what you think it is. Hurting people hurt people, so don't continue to be in that process. And I will tell you, there's nothing wrong with grieving, because you have to. But I will tell you like this: grief will kill you if you don't process it. If you don't, it will kill you if you don't process it. So with the last little bit of the Auburn Cup in my face, I want to thank you again, Ms. Faze Bank. Thank you. I have a lot of love for you, a lot of respect for you, and I appreciate the person that you are. I will tell you this. I know I left Greensboro a long time ago. I graduated in 98, so this May will be 23 years. And when I left, you know, I was a few years older than DJ. So I had, you know, when I left, DJ was a lot smaller than me at the time. Then when I came back for class day out, I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. There was one year I was able to come during that time, and I saw him, and he was just, first of all, I realized how big DJ was. I was like, dang. And I realized, like, you know, you get older, like, man, these kids have grew up. But he always, like, we interacted on Facebook, but he always was very respectful towards me. And we talked, he was like, you know, and it was just good seeing him, and the person that he was the same that I seen as the young boy that I remember. You know, the same silliness, laughing, joking, always in a great mood, and seeing him as an older person. So it was just good seeing that, and that speaks volume of who you are, and the thing that you've done. And what I do appreciate is you said something so powerful. Thank you for imparting to your children the importance of loving each other, because I've been out in the world and everybody don't get that. Everybody don't get that. So thank you for what you've done. Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank everybody for tuning in. You guys have a great and wonderful night. God bless.
Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
You're welcome.